Hi and welcome to a new series on learning how to sight sing. This year my church choir is going to go through a sequence of lessons and we're going to develop our musical abilities and practice recognising notes and learning how to sight sing together. So I'll be recording those lessons and then posting them as a series on YouTube, and you can follow along with us. This would be ideal for either an individual person who wants to learn to sight sing or to develop that ability further, or a choir director who might want to do the same thing with their choir. I trust this series is a help, and we're going to join the first class right now. All right, officially, welcome to Lesson 1, Learning to Sight Sing. I think Lesson 1 is going to be very easy for most of you, but we will build on our knowledge little by little and get to where you are all just singing, sight singing with confidence. And I want no rolling of the eyes from anyone in the audience. So to start out with, our lessons will typically be structured with 2 musical concepts that we'll discuss. I'll tell you which one, or if it's both that you need to learn, and then we'll do a little signpost check at some point in the lesson just so that you can know if you're up to date and you're understanding what we need to learn. Because today we're going to do one concept that I would like you to start learning, and then the second concept I'm simply going to introduce. You do not have to start learning it, so you're not going to be tested on the second concept. So I'll get really strict eye on time. So can anyone tell me what this clef is called up here on my right?
Treble.
It's a treble clef, and we know because it's got this curly little thing. And if you have your sheet music in front of you, everyone practice writing a treble clef. So just follow that, the loopy little bit touches the middle line, then down and then up and across. So just have a go at writing that. And then can anyone tell me this clef at the bottom? What's this one? Yes, a bass clef. All right, so we have a treble clef. Ladies, we're going to start learning the notes on the treble clef. Men, we're going to start learning the notes on the bass clef. And then later on, we'll switch. And ladies, you'll add the bass clef to your repertoire, and men, you'll add the treble clef to your repertoire. Shouldn't be too hard. So I've written kind of crookedly, but it is correct. A C major scale. A C major scale starts on middle C. You can see that first note. That's what those notes sound like if they're either played or written. And you can see they've got note names. So we've got C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So that's it. There's only 7 notes that we as musicians have to remember. We only have to remember up to G, and then we start all over again at A, which is nice and easy for us, okay? Only 7 notes. So everyone, men, you'll sing from down here, this C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. We'll sing them together, and I want you to sing the note names. So you sing C, D, E, F, G. We'll go up and then we'll go down. Let me just play it over here. After 2, 1, 2. Back down. Okay, and we'll sing it again, and as you sing it, just kind of think about what's the placement of that note in my voice and how easy is it for me to sing that note, because I don't know if any of us have perfect pitch, but what we can have is fairly good relative pitch. So, la, if I hear that note, I'm like, it's around a C, because I can hear where it sits in my voice and where it settles in my voice. And then all of these notes are they're a step apart. Roughly, that's not the technical term, but for now we'll go with they're roughly a step apart. So just as you go up, pay attention to this is what it feels to go up by a step and down by a step. So I just want you to focus on how it sounds in your mouth and in your head, okay? But we'll do the same thing, calling out the note names. After 2, 1, 2. Okay, can you kind of feel the differences between like the low C and then the high C? It's in a different place in your voice, isn't it? Okay, so
of course, we need to learn what the note names are called. So in the treble clef, so this is for the ladies, our rhyme for the lines to remember the note names is every good boy deserves fruit. Okay, that gives us the note names. So I want you to write down on your piece of paper, maybe what you can do is actually go circle the lines like that. And then from the bottom up, it's every, this is really messy, good boy deserves fruit. So you're going to create your own cheat sheet so that when I test you on this, you can just look at that. If you know it, you don't have to write it down. Men, you can write it down as well, but we'll be focusing on the bass clef. So bass clef, the rhyme for the lines, does anyone know what it is? Yes?
Oh, no, not the bass clef, sorry.
The boys or the birds? These are on the lines. So the one that I know is good boys deserve fruit. No, there's no N. Always. Sorry, I wrote a... Good luck reading that. Okay, so good boys deserve fruit always. So for our men, if you can write that down on your cheat sheet of paper so that you have a way of referring to what the note names are. So ladies, what are our lines from the bottom up?
Every good boy deserves fruit.
Okay, does anyone know what the spaces are?
Face.
Yes, they spell face from the bottom up. F-A-C-E. How easy is that? That's a really good one. Okay, and men, your spaces, you don't get a nice word. You have to remember another acronym. Does anyone know what it is? All. Moo. Cows. Oh, I don't know. The one I learnt. All cows, yes, eat grass. So men, if you write that down, so men should have good boys deserve fruit always on their bass clef. Well, you might need to write a bass clef. And then all cows eat grass is your spaces. Ladies, you've got every good boy deserves fruit and then F-A-C-E. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some little spot checks as we start practicing our songs. So I'll just say, what's like the note here? And you can just tell me because now you know how to work it out. But please use your sheet of paper. Don't lose it. Keep it and refer to it until it becomes second nature to you over time. And then you won't need it anymore. And by the way, I have a time scale of how long I think it's going to take us to learn to sight sing. Does anyone want to give their estimate? I reckon it's going to take a year. It's not meant to be, I'm smashing information into your head and you have to remember it. I want it to be, just become so easy as we're building a little bit by little bit that it will be easy for you. And that will make sense to you. I don't want to cram information like, oh, so we remember that thing and then that thing. Okay, so with 2 minutes left, we're just going to move on to the second concept, but this one, it's just a concept, we'll come back to it much later. So obviously the note names have names, but they also have numbers within a scale. And eventually we'll realise how important this is. So we're going to learn, and back to 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then back to 1. So in a scale, so in C major scale, C is the first note, D is the second note, E is the third, 4, 5, 6, 7. And sometimes as we get more experience with reading music, what we might want to do is we'll learn to recognise intervals. So we might be able to recognise 1, 3, 5, 1 as a musical pattern based on a scale. I'll play that for you. 1, 3, 5, 1, 5, 3, 1. You're probably familiar with that pattern, but this is what it's built on. So let's sing it. 1, 3, 5, 1, 5, 3, 1. Okay? After 2, 1, 2. 1, 3, 5, 1, 5, 3, 1. Okay, and then we could go 1, 5, 3, 1, 5, 3, 1. When we get to know the intervals, we can bounce around those intervals because we know them really well. So but let's just go 1, 3, 5, 1, 5, 3, 1 one more time. After 2, 1, 2.
1, 3, 4, 1, 5, 3, 1.
Okay, lots of musical exercises that we do would be based on that kind of 1, 3, 5, 1 construction somewhere. Okay, that's our theory part done. We're now going to start working on the next 3 songs on the list for choir. And we'll do some little spot checks to check note names.
This concludes the theory component of our first lesson in sight singing, but for those of you who are watching online or wanting to do some additional practice throughout the week, pull out a hymn book or some sheet music and just see if you can identify some notes in the treble clef if you're a lady or the bass clef if you're a man, and just practice recognising the notes based on, for the treble clef, the rhyme, every good boy deserves fruit, and the spaces are FACE. And then in the bass clef, the rhymes are for the lines, good boys deserve fruit always, and for the spaces, it's all cows eat grass. So just practice some note recognition throughout the week, and we'll see you back for lesson 2.